The following is presented by the Joint Council on Economic Education and the Canadian Foundation for Economic Education.
Okay, that's it. Do we have everything?
Let's see. What?
The Incredible Econ.
Where?
Here, 1201 North Front Street.
When?
On Saturday, March 7th, 1 p.m.
Who?
That's easy. By us, Econ and Friends.
At how much?
50 cents.
Where's Sean?
I don't know.
He's supposed to bring some stuff for our costumes in today.
He and Tom C are supposed to deliver posters too.
Where are they?
Who knows? They're always late.
This one's finished. Is there any more cardboard?
Tom C's supposed to bring some. I guess we can forget that.
We're never going to pull this show together unless we each do our job.
That's for sure. After today, we only have 2 days until we open. Don't remind me.
I might have some cardboard. I'll go see.
No, you have to stay and work on the costumes.
And besides, rehearsal starts in a few minutes.
Me, 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 me. Me, 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 me.
Oh, no, don't tell me he's a singer now.
Econ!
Jeremiah Econery at your service.
Are you going to be a singer now?
Would you pay to hear the sounds I just produced?
No.
Me neither. Ready for rehearsal?
We are, but we're still missing Sean and Tom C. And we're all falling way behind because they're not doing their jobs.
I see. Well, it seems like those two have a lesson to learn about interdependence.
Do what?
Interdependence. Something we all should understand. You see, we all want the same thing, to produce a play. And right now we're pulling together our resources so we can combine them and produce the best play possible. Some of the resources we need already exist, like our stage in Lisa's garage. And some of the clothing we want to use for costumes. But some of the other resources we need, we have to produce, like our signs and posters and tickets. We have a lot to do, and we open in just 2 days. Our time is scarce. And there's no way we can possibly get everything done if we all try to do everything. So we specialize to get the jobs done. That means that each of us agrees to do certain jobs, usually the things we do best. Everyone has a specialty. But while we all do our special jobs, we are also counting on everyone else to do their jobs. Each of us is depending on other people to help produce a good play. So we are interdependent. And if we each do our job, we're all better off. We produce a very successful play, and we get more income from ticket sales. So, specialization only works if we all do our jobs well.
Wait a minute. Sean and Tom C still aren't here. What happens if they don't do their jobs well?
Or if they don't do their jobs at all.
That's a good question. What do you think happens? And what do you think happens? Okay, everybody, let's get started.
But we're still waiting for Sean and Tom C.
We'll work around them. Look, we're going to skip the beginning. We're going to go right to the opportunity cost first. Everybody get ready? Okay, let's try it. 1, a 2. A 1, 2, 3.
When you have to make a choice, there's always something that's tough. The most important thing to go is your opportunity cost. I say
No! No, 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 no! You've got to put some life into it. Like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. When you have to make a choice, there's always something that's tossed. The most important thing to go is your opportunity cost. I say when scarcity occurs, you can't just pass the buck. I mean, you have to make a choice and give something up. Opportunity cost. Opportunity cost. Opportunity cost. Opportunity cost.
Opportunity cost. Opportunity cost.
You're late.
Sorry. We only have small parts anyway.
There are no small parts. The only way we're going to produce this play is if we all do our jobs.
Don't you guys want to do a play? Well, sure, but...
You're doing this to earn money, right?
Right.
Sean, you're saving for a trip to the amusement park, right?
Right.
Well, what if the people at the amusement park treated their jobs the way that you treat yours? As a consumer, you depend on the people who work at the park to provide certain goods and services to you. But what if you arrived and the games and rides were all closed? The park grounds should be clean and safe, and the food should all be well prepared and tasty. But what if the people who keep the park clean and prepare the food didn't do their jobs? You probably wouldn't have a very good time. The point is that when you use your limited income to pay for the park's goods and services, you expect to be satisfied. But your satisfaction is dependent upon the people who work at the park. The people who run the rides and games, and take care of the grounds, and prepare the food, and work in the shops, specialize in the jobs they do. And they depend on you to consume the goods and services they produce, and to pay for these goods and services. When you are totally satisfied, you will do this gladly. Right?
Right. Would you pay to see this play? I mean, in the shape it's in now? All right, we get the picture. And we're sorry. So what are we going to do?
Good question. What do you think? How about you?
I don't know what to do. We only have 2 days.
I think that may be enough time if we all work real hard and remember that specialization makes us interdependent.
What?
Interdependent. It's what we become when we specialize.
That's right.
And if we all do our jobs, we'll have a good play.
Yes, if we combine our resources properly. But interdependence means that we depend on each other to put on a good play.
All right. I think we're ready to work.
How about the rest of you? Are you ready to work?
Yeah!
All right, let's go.
Finally, there's the incredible Econ. Without him, this show never would have happened. You know, as performers, we depend on you, the audience, to buy our services. And as consumers, I'm sure all of you depend on us to satisfy your wants.
What's he doing? Beats me. Let's get him off the stage. How?
You might say that we're interdependent.
Econ, do something.
What?
Get him off of there.
How? Okay.
You know, we depend on you because satisfy your wants is to provide you with a service that you want.
Let the play begin.
Incredible, 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 incredible.
Gonna tell you about Econ, how he came to see if he could teach us all about our economy.
Economics is easy when you do it his way. When you learn all the words, it's a game you can play.
Econ, gonna tell you about Econ. When resources are scarce and you have to
choose.
You have to make good choices or you're gonna lose.
You have to weigh all the pros.
You have to weigh all the cons.
Use your decision tree to help you. It's a lot of fun. Econ, gonna tell you about econ.
When you have to make a choice, there's always something that's tough.
The most important thing to go is your opportunity cost. I say when scarcity occurs, you can't just pass the buck.
I mean, you have to make a choice and give something up.
Opportunity cost, 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 opportunity cost.
Now we're all consumers and there are things we use. I say we're all consumers. Help us spread the news.
We use our limited income for our wants and our needs.
We buy the goods. We buy the services.
They're sure to please, sure to please, sure to please, sure to please, sure to please.
But when our income's too scarce for what we want to consume, then we save that income till our savings go boom.
Oh yes, we save our income for the things we want most.
We do it Econ's way, and now we're here to vote.
Econ, gonna tell you about econ. But when consumption is high, then people want to produce to make new goods and services for others to use. Production starts with resources that producers combine to make the things that we want, to make them at the right time.
At the right time, at the right time, at the right time, at the right time.
Now some resources are natural, like minerals and land.
And some resources are huge. We give them all a big hand.
It's to our health and our strength.
Our education too.
And to the skills that we develop to see us through.
Econ, gonna tell you about econ. When we combine resources to produce something new, we get a different good or service to see us through. And when production is up because consumption is high, then we depend on each other. Econ, tell us why.
Tell us why, 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 tell us why.
Well, my name is Econ, and I'm here to see if I can teach you all about your economy. And when production is up because consumption is high, we've got to count on one another to get us by. When I depend on you and you depend on me, then we can all be better off in our community. I say we'll all be doing things that we do best because we specialize. We get to sell the rest.
Sell the rest, sell the rest, sell the rest, sell the rest.
And when we sell our goods and sell our services too, interdependence occurs, and that can see us through. Because I depend on you and you depend on me. We're each producing with our own specialty.
Specialty, 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 His name is Econ, and he came to see if he could teach us all about our economy. Economics is easy when you do it his way. When you learn all the words, it's a game we can play. Econ, gonna tell you about econ.
Now you can't always see him. He disappears in thin air.
But have an economic problem and he'll be right there.
And when our song has ended and we're done with the show,
You'll still have econ walking with you wherever you go. Economics is easy when you do it his way. When you learn all the words, it's a game you can play. Econ, gonna tell you about econ. Gonna tell you about econ. Gonna tell you about econ. Gonna tell you about econ.
The content for Econ and Me was developed by the Agency for Instructional Technology, with funds from a consortium of over 30 state and provincial education agencies. Other funds were provided by these corporations and foundations. Together, programming for today's learner.